everyone, it's Miracle and welcome back to Mind of a Miracle. I'm so happy you guys decided to join me today. And yeah, today I'm gonna add another wonderful segment to this terribly named concept called topical topics. And basically what I do is I apply makeup, and the makeup idea or inspiration is based off of the topic at hand. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, give it a thumbs up and send it to your friends, and subscribe. Okay. Anyway, let's go! Alright guys, so the subject at hand is a little bit darker, no pun intended. Okay. What I'm actually gonna focus in on is about my experience as being a Black woman. Oh my god, no, it's not one of those videos. But what I'm more so doing is just talking about a conversation that I feel that Black people in general do not have. That is about internalized racism. I feel like people feel in general that doesn't exist, and the ones that are saying those sort of things, I really and truly feel like it's people who are blind, ignorant. Guys, it's a common thing. Just because you yourself have not experienced something does not mean it does not exist. I don't know where people get off thinking that the world revolves around them and their experience, and to deny somebody the ability to speak on a subject at hand because they themselves have never experienced it is a problem in and of itself. As it is right now, being Black in America is something that's widely talked about more than ever in history. And it has very good publicity and some things that are not so good. Some of the major things that you will see in general is Black on Black crime. Black entrepreneurship is at an all-time high, which is amazing in of itself. Then you have sad cases of police brutality, and it seems that being Black means that you have a target on your back. And then, there's some positives that come out of this. People, and Black people in particular, seem to be more attached to their roots. More people seem interested in learning about their heritage. More people seem to be taking ownership over their culture, and I don't like this saying really, but a lot of people are becoming woke, as it were. Honestly, in light with everything that's going on in this current climate, of political nonsense and civil rights and all of that, I've never felt so proud and empowered and so lonely as I do now as a Black woman. Interestingly enough, unlike most people in this world, I actually have an awareness of what's causing my loneliness, what's causing my unsettled thoughts, and it's based off of something extremely simple. It seems like people of other races seem to acknowledge that light-skinned Blacks are the representation, or rather positive representation, of Black people, and alternatively, it seems that dark-skinned people hold a higher value in the Black community. Colorism is a real thing, and it shouldn't be that way. The only thing that I can do really is speak on my own personal story and my own personal experience, and then hopefully through that conversation other people will share what their trials and tribulations have been, and hopefully we can come together and understand one another, and hopefully we can break down these invisible barriers, because let's call a spade, regardless of whoever's looking at us. Black people, we're still Black, all of us, whether it be 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, the whole Black paint jar, we're still Black people. I grew up in a Black household. However, my dad and my mom, I guess, would be considered mixed Negroes, as it were. My dad came from a country called Trinidad, and he had instilled in me the knowledge that in Trinidad race doesn't matter as long as you have money. Now, for my mom, I haven't really gotten an opportunity to really talk about my mom's experience, just because I never really thought to ask her about it. I'm not sure why. I can't imagine it was good, because in conversation with my mom, she has shared with me that when she was growing up, she was still picking tobacco, and she had the experience of picking cotton. And mind you, my mom was born in 1965. I don't know, it really came into play when I was growing up. I grew in a multi-diverse neighborhood, and it was up in North Jersey. It wasn't until I left that part of New Jersey that I actually understood why New Jersey had a reputation for like big time racism. I've never experienced anything like that at all, and I actually started to become rather desensitized by it. It's a sad thing to think that something like that could become so commonplace that you just don't even register in it anymore. It's like it's not even worth talking about because it happens. It's the reality of life. And then, so instead of like focusing in on that, I started experiencing it from other Black people. The people who've treated me the worst at my job, besides the racist, other raced people at that place, were dark-skinned Black people. And they've talked down to me. They've put me in a subservient role. I'm like, I understand that this is customer service, but there's no reason to talk so disparagingly against me. I don't know, it bothered me so much. I've had conversations with other Black women who just happen to be fair-skinned. It's like a commonplace thing that they're constantly feeling that dark-skinned Black people, especially dark-skinned women, have treated them even worse than anybody else has ever had, because there's like this idea that being light-skinned, you're privileged, you're seen as the prettier type of Black, and it's stupid. Honestly, it's stupid. Think about it. Really think about it. Who were the people who created that concept that being brighter is better? It's the people who had integrated racism within our households and within our culture, and it's a divisive tactic to end up separating our people. So these are the people who are creating these concepts, and then we as a people are going to actually fall into that sort of mentality and idolize certain parts of our race and people based off of a complexion. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for this to be a commonplace thing where we separate ourselves based off of a social construct that was generated to fuel hatred amongst the people. We can't build ourselves up if we're constantly breaking ourselves down. It's an unfortunate thing. Like, I was speaking to one of my friends about, how racism affects, the younger kids of today. And she shared with me that she had a teacher who had like some sort of like social experiment or social conversation with the students in her class. And the whole topic at hand was, how do you think that systematic racism, or how do you think racism affects people? And do you think you have unconsciously acted in a racist manner against a certain group of people? And a lot of the kids had shared that they have, and it just so happens against Black people that look like a thug, as it were. They become afraid. But what people don't realize is that Black people too feel, generally speaking, afraid of those people who look like a thug. And it's crazy to me, because if I go to like bad areas, or the trenches, some people would say, or like really urban locations, I find myself more afraid of people who look like me than their white or Asian counterparts. When you think about how messed up that is, like, you'd realize why we have such a problem in this world. And they want to say it's black on black crime. You can call it media, propaganda. I don't know what it is, but it's a problem and it needs to stop. Another thing that bothers me about being light-skinned black, when I try to join in, you know, the black movement sort of topics of conversation, people have denied my struggle based on the fact that I'm fair complexion. I'm a high yellow, a light bright, a yellow devil. Like, I don't know. I understand the black plight because even though that you don't see me as being black, I identify as being black, and who are you to rob my right of being what I am? My birthright is to be black, and I'm proud of that. So who are you to deny me something that I'm proud of? People feel that just because I'm of a lighter complexion that I've been given certain privileges, that I have better representation. I don't know. I don't know who came up with this idea. I don't think I'm more beautiful than anybody else. I really don't. There's so many different variations of color in this world that God has like given to people, and it's absolutely beautiful. And don't you think that if you have a belief in a higher power, don't you think if he gave this whole widespread, this rainbow, this cacophony of color and vibrancy and differences to people, that he's made everybody in mankind an image of him, and that's just variations of beauty? Like, does nobody else see that? I'm so proud to be black, but it's such a lonely feeling because it's like there's so much division amongst our people. For what? Honestly, for what? I had a moment of reflection just now as I was like blending this makeup out, and I don't want anybody to think that like I'm coming at everybody hard, or I don't want people who have been self-reflecting on this to feel as if I'm attacking them or whatever the case may be, because you know what, you might have been acting out based off of what your story was, but I just want you to start thinking for yourself and not reacting based off of somebody else's ideas. I don't know if I'm making sense, but like, you ever have it where like, you know, you grew up thinking a certain way, like say your mom and dad told you that, I don't know, cantaloupe is no good for you. Cantaloupe is not good for you at all. Don't eat cantaloupe. Why your parents tell you that? Well, your father has an allergy to cantaloupe, so that's why you can't eat cantaloupe. Cantaloupe is no good for you. That's your father's story. If you go and get an allergy test done and you're not allergic to cantaloupe, why, if you leave your household, can't you eat cantaloupe? Cantaloupe ain't gonna do you nothing, okay? So why are we doing it and applying it to other aspects of our lives, you know? In my case, I've decided to make a union between myself and my hubby-to-be, who is a black man. And it's hard for me because sometimes I get this very, very bad feeling inside that I won't have the support of our people. And you know, as the old adage says, it takes a village to raise a child, and I feel like my village is kind of divided, and what people don't realize is like, yo, I'm black. I'm going to have that same difficult conversation with my future children. It's weird to me to think that my skin speaks for me before I even open my mouth. It's a really difficult thing to understand. It's 2019 and we're still having these bogus conversations about we as black people being separate from each other. But then when I think about it as well, this history is still new. 30, 40, 50, 60 years, that's still new. Alright guys, so this is the general final look. I'm gonna throw in some lashes and then come back for my final thoughts. Okay, my loves, and this is the final look. So, I hope I executed it the way that I had envisioned this project going. Just to recap the too long, didn't read. Basically, this whole idea that I wanted to encapsulate within this conversation, within this makeup look, is basically that I want to be proud of my people and accepted by my people. For us to come together, I want anybody to understand that no matter, like, and I'm speaking directly to my fellow Black folks, no matter what shade you are, I want you to rock your race with pride. Understand that no matter what shade you are Black and you belong. I don't want to feel outcasted anymore, and I don't want mixed babies or mulatto children or light brights or darkies or, you know, anybody, brown skins, whatever the case may be. I want you to feel accepted within your race, and I hope that this conversation would stimulate some sort of, you know, conversations to be had within the household, within the neighborhoods, amongst our people. And yeah, that's basically what it boils down to. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any further thoughts, or if you've experienced this within your own culture, within your own race, let me know what your stories have been. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any sort of questions, concerns that you do not want to be relayed in the comment section, hit me up at my email. My email address is MiracleAndHerMind@gmail.com. If you'd like, just let me know at the base of that email whether or not you would like me to address your comment in the next video. And until next time, guys, my social media handles are as follows. Instagram is precarious_mind. Snapchat is xmira.mirax. Okay, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye!